Hello, this is Faith Dahlquist, Associate Superintendent. This video will highlight some of our instructional plans for the upcoming school year. It will talk about both of our in-person plans and our temporary distance learning plans. First, let's talk about in-person instruction. I want to remind everyone that it will be 5 full days at regular school times and hours with lunch. There will be an increased time, especially at the start of the year, for establishing a safe and nurturing climate as our learners report back to school. There will also be an increased time for teaching behavioral and social emotional skills, as well as student support time and differentiated instruction. It'll be an important time of welcoming our students back. It will be a time to build positive energy and relationships. We will emphasize the teaching of school behaviors, how to make friends, as well as academic behaviors. And it will also be a time for us to improve our collective efforts for instruction. Recently, the board passed InVision 308, which outlines some of our priorities from now until the year of 2026. It's highlighted as 4 different areas: student learning, support for student learning, finance, facilities, and community partnerships. The document can be viewed on the website if you would like more information. This video is only going to highlight on student learning. The top priority in student learning is to improve literacy and math achievement. We're going to do this by having common expectations for instruction. The district has created a K-8 literacy and math framework based on best practices instruction. If you would like to view it, it is on the website. It is for use of our general education, special education, and English learners staff. We also will be working on early intervention and identifying gaps and providing support. We are using federal grant dollars and have hired an interventionist for each elementary school, as well as the Early Childhood Center. These new staff members will help the classroom teachers support struggling students by providing additional small group instruction. We also really want to work at meeting individual student needs. We know that some of our students did quite well while on remote learning and hybrid instruction, and others fell behind. To make sure we're meeting all needs, we've created additional student support time to make sure that all students are having both challenge and success in academics. At the elementary level, there will be a daily time for targeted instruction for literacy, in which a team of people support the classroom teacher to meet the needs of all students. This will also happen daily for math. At junior high, daily, there will be 20 minutes at the start of the day for student support time. This time can be used to connect with students or to provide targeted interventions or enrichment when needed. At the high school level, twice a month, there will be a day where class times are shortened by a few minutes to provide a school-wide time for enrichment and interventions. Our second priority is to create a district-wide plan for both behavioral and social-emotional health of our students. First, with behavior expectations, as students return, it will be important to teach and reteach acceptable school behaviors. All schools will spend time, especially at the start of the school year, teaching and reinforcing these common expectations to make sure that we have a safe and nurturing environment that is conducive to learning. We also will be working on social emotional wellness. This will be an increased focus on students with connecting each other and with their teachers. Students will be reminded how to positively interact and build friendships. There also will be instruction on how to manage emotions and stress. If you are interested in more information, please visit the SEL webpage on our website. We also need to be aware of mental health issues. Some of our students have struggled significantly during this time. We are training all classroom teachers on how to create learning environments that build strong connections and support for students. We also have hired an additional social worker using federal grant dollars. Our third priority is to expand opportunities for students to have choice, challenge, and success through differentiation and personalization of instruction. Again, all of these priorities are things that we will be working on for the next 5 years. This year, we will really be focusing on the differentiated and personalized piece, as I mentioned already, by the student support times at elementary, junior high, and high school. Our fourth priority is to provide more ways to apply creativity and learning to solve real-world problems to better prepare students to pursue career paths in the armed services, trades, workforce, college, etc. And throughout this year, we will continue to design activities that emphasize the application of problem solving. We also want to make sure that our academic work is meaningful to students and is preparing for life and careers after formal schooling. At the high school level, we'll be incorporating more student voice and feedback into our system of decision making. We are adding a student member to the school board and creating forums for students to provide feedback on their ideas for improving the climate in instruction here in SD 308. A fifth priority is to prepare students for post-secondary life by incorporating curriculum in financial and digital literacy. During this year, we will review and revise our K-12 curriculum to improve our instruction in financial and digital literacy. This will include revision of a few of our high school courses. The sixth priority under student learning is to reduce time spent on K-8 assessments and improve the use of data to drive instruction to meet the needs of all students. At elementary and junior high, we will utilize a new assessment system this fall called FastBridge. Every student will be assessed 3 times a year in reading and math. These digital assessments are adaptive and will provide a student an easier or harder question depending on how the student did on previous questions. Data from these assessments will be used to determine the needs for improvement in overall instruction for all students, as well as identify individual students for interventions. These assessments are nationally normed so that there's a reliable measure of how SD 308 students are prepared compared to other students across the nation. These tests will take less instructional minutes than our previously national norm tests. The high school level will implement new general assessments, and this will help us measure literacy and math skills. I want to give just a few minutes to temporary distance learning. The state resolution requires that remote learning only be for students that are ineligible for a vaccine and are on quarantine. We will be providing remote instruction or temporary distance learning for students that are on quarantine. This is only available to students that are on quarantine. At grades 6 through 12, temporary distance learning will be provided by the classroom teacher by allowing students to listen and participate through Google Meets. At elementary, we have hired separate teachers for temporary distance learning, and they will provide at least a combination of 2 hours of daily instruction and other learning activities that students can do on their own. If you have questions, please ask your building admin team or submit a question through the district Google link. Thank you so much for listening. We're excited to get everybody back.